We last were in Sparta, Tennessee, which is a small town outside of Nashville, but I've been in Talladega for, about 2.5 years now. So, it's been a very good move for me and my family. We have two small children, and Talladega and the surrounding community have been just so welcoming. Talladega is one of those towns, and having lived in other small towns, Talladega is an easy town to get plugged into. They really want and appreciate new folks and new ideas. So it's been a good move for us.
So wearing your administrator hat.
Yes.
This house. Let's go. Is that the phone?
That is the phone.
Okay.
You can hold on. This says ring.
They're probably looking for a doctor.
So I guess wearing your administrator hat. What about this hospital would appeal to a doctor moving from wherever he or she is moving from?
Sure. I think it's the hospital and the community that really we're looking to marry together for the right physician. From a primary care perspective, we've got a lot to offer. We've got some physicians that still practice in a traditional style, meaning they have inpatient and outpatient responsibilities. We've just recently started a hospitalist program, and so we're recruiting for hospitalists. And then we're also recruiting for physicians that want to simply focus on an outpatient practice. So the practice opportunity could vary for a primary care physician. In terms of specialists, it's really also across the board in terms of what we're looking to add. We've got a good contingent of specialists here on our medical staff, and in my opinion, for a hospital our size and a community our size, we have a strong foundation of specialists, but we continue to look to add potentially general surgery, orthopedics, others, and the attraction is a couple things. One, it's a close-knit medical staff. It is still the small town hospital. You can see your patients not only in your clinic, but we've also got physicians who go to make house calls. Physicians are still very much respected and pillars of the community in this town. So if someone is looking for that role, that certainly fits. We've got other physicians who don't necessarily want to plug in and be out front in the community, and so we've got a couple who own big pieces of land, and so they're doctors during the week and gentlemen farmers on the weekend and that kind of thing. So it just really varies what's the lifestyle choice that people want. The beauty of Talladega and Citizens is from an economic standpoint, from a work standpoint, there's the ability to have a good work-life balance in our town and with this hospital, and yet still generate significant income and revenue for a physician practice. So.
And this is the hub of the community, or has become the hub of the community.
It is a big part of the community. Citizens was founded and got its name from a group of physicians.
No, let's back up.
Okay.
So Citizens has become a hub of this community?
It really is part of the foundation of the community for sure. We're in the existing building that was built in 1970, and Citizens got its name after a group of citizens, the Talladega citizens. Sorry,
That's a hard
I'm just gonna skip that word next time.
Okay, let's start over.
Okay.
And this hospital has become sort of a hub of the community?
It has. It's really a foundational piece of the community. Citizens got its name after a group of Talladega natives really imposed a self-tax and collected monies and then matched it with federal government loans to build the existing facility in 1970. So it is a true piece of the fabric of Talladega, and it's one of the major employers in town and in the county. It is well thought of and respected amongst many of the the citizens here. And as you look at the future of Talladega, Citizens is a big part of that continued growth effort.
That's great. We talked about a leap of faith for physicians. I think you covered some of that in your first answer, but it is scary moving to a small town, I would imagine.
It is, not knowing, one, if many of our physicians and many of our staff have family in the area. But for me, somewhat an outsider, have spent time in Birmingham, grew up in Nashville, so knew the big city. But what was attractive to me, I said it earlier, was the ability to get plugged in, that it's a very welcoming town, that that really the people of Talladega want to see Talladega successful, that there's a lot to offer here from a social standpoint. There's always an event going on if you're looking to do things in a social setting. There's the outdoor activities. But really for me, it was the comfort of knowing people that I live with and live around. As I said, I've lived in big towns and big cities. For me, the difference is the close community that's offered in Talladega. So.
Great. That's it.
All right.
Hey, let me ask one question and answer. And it may not even use it, but it's kind of popped in my mind because we're talking about it. Give her the answer. When you ride around, you see a lot of old houses, and Talladega was like an old town. I guess people are going to drive in here and think, I got to live in a 100-year-old house. I'm going to have to fix it up. Or there are newer communities around.
There are.
Real quickly, just
Sure.
It may not be something,
Sure.
but about the housing.
Our service area really is about 40,000 people in total, and encompasses North Talladega County. And North Talladega County includes up Highway 21 in Munford, and then Lincoln, which is up towards I-20. Those are two growth areas. Then Talladega, which is kind of the hub of North Talladega County and the county seat, has 15,000 plus people. And so you've got any number of different areas you can live. You can live on the lake in Lincoln. There's brand new, beautiful homes up there. In Talladega, there are some fantastic antebellum homes that are 100 plus years old. And there's also newer construction down in Talladega. And then Munford is a small town. I mentioned earlier a couple physicians that own significant land. They live up that direction. So what do you want to look for? What is your family set to kind of jump off into? We have one physician who recently joined us, who's building a log cabin and owns 70 plus acres of land, and is really excited about raising his children on that land and them being part of that small town in Munford. So there are a lot of different options depending on what your interests are.
Great. For a physician that might be considering Talladega, why would you want to come here? That's really the line of questions. So we'll see where it takes us.
Let me get you to say your name and spell it for me first. You just tell her.
Barbara Embry, B-A-R-B-A-R-A-E-M-B-R-Y.
And your title?
Chaplain.
All right.
And is that chaplain for Citizens
Mhm.
Baptist Health? Okay.
Mm-hmm. Just for citizens.
Okay. Barbara, tell us about where you are from and you came back here. Tell us about that move.
Well, I grew up here in Talladega, born and raised here, as a matter of fact. Attended the elementary schools.
Go ahead and ask the
Okay.
first question.
All right. So you were born here. So tell us about just your path and where you started and how you ended up back here.
Well, been born here in a small town, because it is a small town. You get to know everybody, and everybody knows you. So it was a relatively wonderful place to grow up in. I left, went away to be educated, and came back. Now, coming back was that part that was so very interesting to me, because I wondered why, first of all, it was in our hearts to come back. Why? Because I thought we were having fun living where we were living. But after I got back, I understood exactly why the Lord led us back in this place. And I'm so grateful to be back at home doing what I do.
What was so great about moving back?
The great thing is that I could give away, I believe, and I call it gift and callings that the Lord has imputed to us. Sometimes we think that we've chosen our career paths, but I am of the belief that our lives are predestined. And so these gifts that He has given me works very well with this community. I'm able to, I've started and do many mentoring programs. I visit the people, and being here at the hospital, it's like you get an opportunity to minister to those, and some of them even minister to you when you were a child. So it's giving back. It's a giving back situation.
That's nice. If you could describe, and I know it's probably a very diverse group, but if you could describe the makeup of the people in this hospital, and I only give you one sentence to do it, how would you do that?
family and community oriented. We have people from all walks of life. We have natives, native Talladegians who live here and who work here. We have, just for the chaplaincy itself, we've got all denominations. We were very blessed because we live in a deaf, blind community. We have the Alabama School for the Deaf and Blind here. We were even able to have a young man who grew up in that school as one of our chaplains. So we're able to minister to virtually anybody who come through the doors. We have male, female chaplains. We have all denominations represented in our chaplaincy. So nobody ever goes without here. So it's an all-inclusive, family-oriented place to work.
If I'm a physician and I'm looking at this video and I'm considering moving to Talladega, and let's say I live in Nashville, what would you say to me as a physician that would be comforting to me to move and take such a leap of faith?
Well, first of all, in Talladega, you'll know that you're needed. You will know that you're needed once you get here and see it's a place where you can give. And what makes you feel better about yourself is giving of yourself. That really does. That's the part of it that keeps me here and makes me want to do even more here. Coming from Nashville, Tennessee, of course, it's a city, but guess what? We're situated between two major cities. We have Birmingham, Alabama, and we're not far from Nashville at all. And then you have Atlanta, Georgia. I lived in Atlanta, so coming back home, I don't miss Atlanta. I get on the expressway, I'm there in an hour and 45 minutes, and I can partake of sports or what cultural events. So I'm not missing anything by being here. I've gained much by coming back home because, as I said, it has fulfilled some of the desires that I have because I love helping people. I'm a people person. It's a perfect place to live and to work. Not only did I grow up here, but my grandchildren are growing up here. I have a great-grandchild that'll be growing up here. So it's a wonderful place to be and to live and to give to. It really is. You won't miss the city at all.
Well, you don't go enough to have a great-grandchild. Okay.
Well, thank you.
She will make you look good. Or I should say,
Well,
Debbie
you
will make
do a lot of editing with my southern lingo.
No.
You got a good voice, and I'm
Yeah.
gonna guard the door. But
Let me get you to say your name and spell it for me.
Larry Harris, Larryharris,
And your title?
Director of Imaging Services.
Okay. I'm good to go.
Now, Larry, where are you from?
I'm born locally from Clay County, which is adjoining Talladega County. I did all my schooling in Birmingham and moved back to Talladega to be close to my dad, who's in the hospice program at home. So, and was fortunate enough to get the job here at Citizens close by. Also, I worked for 35 years in Birmingham in the medical, being director up there in Caraway Methodist Medical Center.
So you're a local, and you were sort of born and raised here.
Yeah, this used to be my stomping ground and play area when I was growing up.
Tell me about, as a local and someone that's been here pretty much your whole life, for a physician that may consider Talladega, they're like, well, I'm not going to be one of the locals. How accepting is this community to new doctors?
Yeah, this community is in dire need of some general practitioners and some internal medicine doctors that are dedicated to grow up here in the community and become part of the community and learn all the local folks. It's a small town atmosphere, and everybody knows everybody, and everybody helps everybody as a community and growing up together.
When a new doctor comes in town, how is he or she accepted or greeted? Or
The community is hungry for good medical care. As the original medical group here gets older and retire, we're struggling to have enough medical doctors to cover the community needs. So they're very well accepted.
and needed.
Yeah.
Let's talk about outreach. What sort of outreach is the hospital doing?
Well, we do, of course, free x-rays, if you want to call them that, and we do mammography ABC program through the health department. We do Mammo Mondays, we do, which is during the week of October, which is Mammo Month, which is National Month celebrating, not celebrating, but Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And we do special reduced rates for the community. And I go out to speak with the Kiwanis clubs and the Rotary clubs and the church organizations promoting our imaging quality and imaging expertise here at the hospital.
So, in terms of the facility itself and the services that are offered, it's a small town, but it seems like there's plenty that's offered here.
Yeah, I came in 7 years ago and was challenged to revamp the imaging department, and I spent like almost $5 million doing that. We're totally digital. We have state-of-the-art equipment. For a hospital this small to have equipment, the quality that we have is far past most hospitals up the East Coast or in the Southeast itself. So, and that's hard to get into the community because community people like to go, they think, well, you go to Birmingham, you get the best. Well, the best is right here in their back door.